Mr. Boo.
Ho, 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 ho.
Hey everyone, it is I, Mr. Boo, your entertainment guru here on YouTube, and this is my 5th video in my 12 days of YouTube, my 12 days of the holidays, my 12 days of Christmas, if you will. It is going to be 5, I said, 5 horror films, 5 Christmas horror films, even though I just did 10. 5 Christmas horror films. I'm going to quickly throw this up on the screen, and I'm going to tell you to keep commenting down below because I am putting everyone in a raffle. We're shaking up the names. Anyone who comments on each of the 12 videos, 1 comment per video can get you up to 12 draws of the hat. 2 winners, not 4, 2. 2 winners will be picked at random, and I will communicate with you, let you know who the winners are. Get your info, send you a holiday card from me to you, personalized with a message from Mr. Boo Entertainment Guru and a $25 gift card. That's right, 2 winners get this. Only 2, not 4, 2. All right, enough of the hand signs, the gang signs, and whatnot. This is 5 Christmas horror stories, 5 Christmas horror movies, 5 Christmas horror films that I personally love. And there's, I'm going to do 3 honorable mentions in this one because there's just not enough time for me to list all my favorite horror movies that are of the holidays. So we're going to list 5, and we're going to start with not only the OG version, but the remake. Both Black Christmases, they intertwine together and become number 5. Black Christmas is just a tale of like a sorority house, and they're doing their thing, and from inside the house, someone is stalking them, watching them, calling them, mocking them, killing them. So from inside the house, they are being unalived by a person, by a man who has been living here. You don't really even, I don't believe, in the original or the remake, find out exactly why this man is in there. You kind of get like a clue of who he is, and that's about it. It's a classic horror movie. The remake wasn't really that great, didn't really do the OG version justice, but I'm putting these 2 together as 1. I keep doing more than the number I'm trying to do, but 1. This is being put together as 1 on my number 5 spot. So with that said, we'll move to the number 4 spot. Try to do it again. The number 4 spot with Jack Frost. And I'm not talking Michael Keaton, y'all. I'm talking a criminal on transfer during Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Crash happens, toxic waste is involved. He gets mowed down and unalived, and then the radiation and the snow bring him back as a killer snowman. And I am not making this up. This is the original like B film. This was Thanksgiving before Thanksgiving knew it was Thanksgiving. This is Jack Frost, the psychopathic slasher film about a killer snowman who is just a criminal brought back to life after a mishap between chemicals and snow. And there's really nothing to it. He's going into a town. He's seeking some sort of revenge on the person who put him away. Straightforward story, and he just unalives anyone in his way to get to where he wants to do and where he wants to be. And let me tell you, this film isn't even that bad. This film for a B film is a kind of a classic B film. It's kind of a cult classic. Do not watch number 2 because it's Snowball's Chance in Hell or something like that. I don't know, but he's a snowman in the Bahamas, and suddenly he can't melt, and there's these little snowballs, and just stick with the original Jack Frost here. That is number 4 on my list, and I'm going to move on to number 3. One that I stumbled upon on a streaming service, I'm not even sure which one, I think it was Netflix, is a Christmas horror story. This is an anthology horror story, much like Tales from the Crypt or Creep Show, or something along those lines, where it's a series of stories, kind of like Trick or Treat. That was another anthology story, where all the stories kind of combine in the end. I believe they combine in the end, but what I really like about this one isn't even the whole movie. What I really love about this one that gets me really going is right there in the picture, you see Krampus fighting Santa Claus. Good versus evil in a whole nother dimension. It's not heaven, it's not hell, it's not an angel, it's not a demon, it's not God or Jesus versus Lucifer. It is Krampus, the Christmas demon, versus Santa Claus. And that's such a good segment and such a good fight scene. Still better than Halloween Ends. Sorry, Jamie Lee. You got shafted on that one. You guys should have had a better finish to your story, and I apologize. But hey, Michael's gone, and there's no remakes. Oh, redos. Oh, wait, yeah. Yeah, there is. It's Hollywood. There's always a chance to rewrite, redo, remake, reborn, rehash. There's always a chance. But you just can't change the fact of how bad Halloween Ends was. But a Christmas horror story is good. All the little stories in them are very unique and good, and Santa vs. Krampus cannot be beat. So now we're going to move on from 3 to 2, and it is another very big cult classic. If you have watched my collection videos, I think I actually shown him in like the first collection video, maybe number 2, but I think it was the first one. Silent Night, Deadly Night. Look at this. You know, this is classic with his hand coming up out of the chimney with the axe. Silent Night, Deadly Night was like one of the original, I think, like kind of ideas where you took something like Christmas and you overlapped it with someone who is a sociopath and he turns into a slasher, but it's not just that aspect of it all, but he is dressed like Santa Claus through like the whole thing. So it takes Christmas and it just throws a little bit of the red stuff on it. And I'm not talking about red or green, I'm talking bodily fluids. This is about a guy, I think his name is Billy, who is an orphan, grows up in an orphanage, like kind of like a Catholic orphanage, I believe it is, taught wrong from right. I believe he actually sees like a nun doing something she shouldn't. It's a priest. Anyway, not gonna go there. Not gonna get YouTube mad at me. But he sees that happening between those two adults, even though one is a nun. Shame. And he grows up and he's working and he's actually gotten himself used to being like, okay, well, this is good, this is bad. That person was sinning. This person's living a good life. Working at a store, and he gets told he is now the mall Santa. And that's where things just kind of go south because I'm not really sure. I need to watch it again. I've only watched this movie a couple times, but I flippin' love it, and I'm really glad I found the figurine. But number 2 is bad. Don't watch number 2. But anyway, during his stint as Santa Claus, he prolongs that stint and takes people out in the toy store, leaves the toy store, and it becomes a night of chaos. And I believe he actually ends up back at the orphanage to be like, hey, you guys are naughty, and I'm not going to be so nice. So that brings me to the runners up. And I'm going to have to say that's going to be Gremlins because I've already talked about Gremlins at least twice. I've done a review on it. That was my last video. It'll be in the link thing at the end of my video about Gremlins right here. Gremlins is a classic. Love it. It's not quite a horror film, but it's not quite not a horror film. It is funny. It is scary. It is happy holidays. It's great, and it's there. And the only reason it's a runner-up is I have listed it in a list, I believe, and I've done a review on it. So, and I think it was actually in this list as well, and I had to move it to runner-up. So, second runner-up, looking at my little list here, Santa's Sleigh. Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg plays actually plays the Santa Claus. The Santa Claus. Like, if Santa Claus was real, Bill Goldberg is him. And he is just taking out everyone on that naughty list. I've watched it once or twice, but it's been a while, so I'm not really going to sit here and do like a quick review on it and let you know what it's all about. It is Santa Claus, played by WCW WWE superstar Bill Goldberg. So, Santa's Sleigh, you see it right there. I believe it has some pretty cool like moments where he unalives people. I think one is with an icicle. So that's a runner-up. And my final runner-up is going to be Christmas Bloody Christmas, which was a Shudder original film. I rented it. Now this one, I'll give you the rundown. It is basically about a robotic Santa Claus that is in, I believe, a toy store or whatever. It malfunctions. There's some people in a record shop that try to stop it, and he like stalks them through the whole thing. There's even a part where he takes down a kid, which is kind of cool. Like you don't really see it, but he does the whole thing where, oops, here comes a dead body. really know what else more to say except for it's really fun. It's different. It kind of puts a spin and like pays homage to all these other films, but it's a robotic Santa and robots are all around. AI is all around. So we got to keep our eyes on these right here. Look, Christmas, Bloody Christmas. This could happen. People, Terminator, Skynet. This stuff could happen. I mean, look at the Teslas. They're fighting back. Anyway, before I get into all of that, we have my favorite Christmas horror movie, and it is a campy Christmas horror movie. And it's campy because it's funny. It doesn't take itself seriously, but it does take itself seriously because, my God, the creature design on Krampus and the creature design on all the toys and the gingerbread men. I'm talking Krampus. And yes, it is only rated PG-13, but it is so good. It is so scary. It is so funny. It has a good cast in it, and it has a good lesson to be learned. This family doesn't take Christmas very well. This family's always at each other's throats. And all this kid wants is for his family to enjoy Christmas again like they always have before everything fell apart. Krampus is my number one spot. Krampus is the 5 out of 5 on this list. Krampus is the must-see if you haven't seen it. It has scary toys. It has people getting what they deserve. It has a lesson to be learned. And it teaches you kind of the history of Krampus from Germany, with the grandma even being German in the movie. It is such a great movie. There you have it. Let's recap. We got Black Christmas, both the OG version and the new version. Jack Frost, I'm not talking the friendly one. I'm talking the deadly one. A Christmas horror story, Christmas anthology horror. What can be better than that? Silent Night, Deadly Night, the original Santa slasher. Our 3 runners-up were Gremlins. We all know Gremlins. I hope you all know Gremlins. If you don't, go watch Gremlins. Then we've got Santa's Sleigh. I mean, it's cheesy, it's campy, but it's Bill flippin' Goldberg. So if you want to watch Santa spear some people, quite literally, Santa's Sleigh. And then Christmas, Bloody Christmas, 3rd runner-up, Robot Santa. Different, new, Shudder original, very unique idea. Kind of plays homage to a bunch of other films because of the whole Santa, slaying thing. But the number 1 on that list is Krampus, and don't you forget it. And don't you take Christmas for granted this year, or Krampus will pay you a visit. And hey, be careful what you wish for from Krampus, because he may make it happen for all eternity inside of a snow globe. And until next time, keep an eye out for any psycho crazed people wearing red suits. If there's someone in your house, get out, leave, and don't take Christmas for granted. And I will see you next time for 4 Grinch movies for review. That is 3 Grinch movies and a mean one. And I'll see you in that video. I'm Mr. Boo Entertainment Guru, and I'm out.